This is lesson number 3. Noun, name, countable and uncountable noun. So in this base video, we are basically read the concept of countable noun and uncountable noun. Before going to the countable noun and uncountable noun, first of all, I would like to explain that what is noun. Noun is a person. It can be a person. For an example, like Rima, Qatar, or Raja. Place, it can be any place. For example, Agra, Hyderabad, or it can be any animal name. For example, lion, tiger, if there is, right? So this is all noun. But what can not be a noun? It's not an action. Noun cannot be an action there. That means verb. It cannot be a verb. For example, eating, dancing, or any description. Description means noun cannot be an adjective. Preposition, noun cannot be like a or an, or it can be like of, from, at. This is preposition. So noun cannot be an action, this adjective or preposition. So can we in the next example, as you can see that Canada is a large country. In this, can you underline noun? What is the noun? Canada is a noun here. Country is a noun. In the second sentence, my teacher is funny. What is noun here? Teacher is a noun. Like, the dog and cats are friends. What can be a noun here? The dog and cats. Right? So countable noun. So basically come on countable noun. The concept of countable noun. Countable noun is the noun which can be used to, that can be countable, that can be counted. That is called countable noun. For an example, I have a book. That means with countable noun you can use a or an. You can use a or an. Like with vowel you can use an, or with consonant you can use a. With consonant words you can use a, like a dog, a book, a cat, and with vowel sound word you can use an. For example, an apple, an orange. So basically countable nouns, that is a noun that can be counted only. That can be counted, that you can easily count on your fingertips. For example, I have a book. Book you can easily count. And if you need to make it plural of this book, suppose you said there are 2 books or 3 books, so you need S with that noun, like S. So that means book will be books. And as you will put S, then there is no need of this a or an. I hope this is clear. Yes, what I said, that if it will be more than one, or if it will be more than one noun, so there is no need of this S, right? That means a is not required here. In the next example, a is not required here. So that means I have 2 books. Now moving on to the next noun, that is uncountable noun. Uncountable noun are the nouns that cannot be counted. You cannot easily count uncountable nouns, right? Basically, this uncountable noun we use to answer the question with how much. Here we use how much, and with countable noun you can use how many. Like, for example, here we do not require a or an. Like whether the things you cannot count, with those things you are not being required a or an. And there is no need to add s. There is no need to add s or es. For example, what you cannot count? You cannot count happiness. You cannot count somebody's sadness. You cannot count somebody's stress. These are abstract noun, and these you cannot count there. And there is no need to require a or an or s for making it plural. Alright everybody? Because here uncountable nouns are the nouns that is basically which we cannot count. Now moving on further, there are some categories of uncountable noun dear. There are some categories of uncountable noun. For example, if you say furniture, furniture you cannot count. One thing I want to make you clear, that is furniture you cannot count. But if I, instead of furniture, if I say I have 2 tables, 3 chairs in my home, that you can easily count. Moving to the next, clothes. Like clothes you cannot count. There are some category of uncountable noun that you cannot count. Right, clothes you cannot count. But instead of clothes, when you say like I have 2 socks, 3 pants, 4 shirts, these are countable. Money, you cannot count somebody's money, but instead of money you can count somebody's coin. You can count your coins. For example, I have 2 coins, but you cannot say like I had 3 money or 4 money, or I have 4 clothes, or I have 5 furniture. No, this is absolutely wrong. Now, but there are some of the categories of drinks in uncountable noun, like milk, juice, and this is not a category of milk, but I have written to make you all explain that why it is uncountable noun. You cannot say mustards, right? You can say like 3 container of 3 container, 3 gram, or 3 kilo, 3 bottle of mustard oil. Right, this is also a category of uncountable, like drinks. This is also come in the list of drinks. So you can say there here too that I have 2 bottle of milk, I have 3 bottle of juice, like I have 2 bottle of mustard. Right, instead of saying this, these are uncountable, but when you will describe it in the amount or quantity, ultimately that will be in countable noun. Again I'll explain, like the same milk, that is uncountable noun. You cannot count milk, but instead of milk, if you can say like I have 2 bottles of milk or 2 can of milk, this is absolutely correct. Like 2 bottles of juice, this is countable noun. Like 2 bottles of mustard I have, yes, this is correct. Now there are some examples of uncountable and countable noun. With these examples you can easily this concept you can easily that would make you clear easily. Like English is a language you cannot count there. So you cannot say like I have 2 English or 3 English. No, absolutely wrong. This is uncountable noun. Students, right? You can count student. You can count students. So like 3 students are in my class, or there are 4 students in my class. This is countable. Bottle, you can count bottle. This is absolutely correct. This comes in countable, so this is correct, countable. Water is not count. Water we cannot count, so that's why it comes in uncountable noun. Cell phone you can count. This will be considered in countable noun. Shoe you can count. This will be an uncountable noun. And sadness you cannot count. That's why it is considered an uncountable noun. Moving on to the last point, I want to tell you again that I have discussed you earlier that with countable nouns, dear, we basically use how many instead of saying lot of. Like I have lot of friends, so instead of saying a lot of friends, you can use the word many. I have many friends. With uncountable noun, you can use much. Like how much water do you have? Like how much milk do you have? Or how much milk have you kept in the fridge? This is an example of uncountable noun. So I hope till here is it clear to everyone. Thank you.